Hello, my name is Madeline, and I'm going to be talking about a cheaper alternative if you're just starting to explore and experiment with oil paint. And you don't have to really start with a canvas if you don't want to, or if you don't have it on hand. Right here I just have like a cheap watercolor paper. The paint dries faster on a paper because it's really absorbent, and you don't really have to get like fancy watercolor paper ones. This one I have is the Canson Watercolor XL series. It's okay. I don't really like it for watercolor because it just, I don't know, it like pills or whatever. I don't know. It's not really that good for me or for the techniques that I use for watercolor, but I find it really useful if I'm just practicing with oil paints. And yeah, this obviously it's not done yet, but I'm just practicing on it. And see, you can see at the back the oil that's absorbed on the paper, and you don't have to worry about it like leaking at the page next to it, so it's good. And also you don't want to be, I don't know, if it's up to you if you want to use professional oil paints right away, but if you're just practicing, or if you are just, a beginner, I recommend using really cheap ones. Like, I happen to have Reeves. I don't know, it's probably like a couple of bucks on AC Moore or Michaels. And this is Georgian for artists. But if it's the artist kind, you would see artist oil color instead of for artists. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is cheaper. It comes in a set, so it's good if you want to have plenty of colors all at once. You just buy a set of it. And this is the Winton from Winsor & Newton. It's the artist grade it's the artist grade oil paint. And this one, I got it on sale for $10, $9.99, and it's really good. It's really cheap, and it's pretty good quality for what it is. You can use these palettes. These are the what is this? Strathmore paper, or palette paper. You don't have to worry about cleaning up because you just, once it's all like filled with paint and it's really messy, you just have to tear the top page out and throw it out. And if you don't want to deal with like turpentine or mineral spirits, you can use baby oil, just for cleaning up. I think it's pretty useful and it works if you're just cleaning up. I don't recommend it for I don't recommend you using it as a medium because it doesn't really work. So yeah, it's just for cleaning up. And if you don't want to use mediums, it's fine. You can just use this if you're into the impasto technique. You can just use the color straight from the tube. And I think it's a good idea to get some palette knives, like a couple. I just happen to have these two on hand. And buy cheap brushes. You don't really need fancy, expensive ones if you're just starting out or if you're just practicing. Because if you're like me and you forget to clean it out, or if you want to do it the next day but it dries out, you're just going to ruin the brush. But if you have cheap ones, it's fine because, you don't really have to spend a lot of money on them. And these are good mediums. The Liquin range from Winsor & Newton. It's not focusing, but whatevs. Yeah, this is pretty good. There's the light gel, but the liquid original is also good. What else? If you're using a paper, you don't really need a medium because it dries relatively fast within a day or two, or like a couple of days. It's gonna be dry to the touch, and it's if you're using like light layers, not really thick ones. And if you don't want to deal with all that oily mess, you can use the you can get the water soluble oil paints. I have a bunch of Reeves ones, but Winsor Newton also has them. These are just cheaper, and it's just for practice, so I don't really care. And if you're really skimpy and super cheap about paint, and you don't want to waste them when you're done painting, you can get these little containers from Michaels. I don't know, I just throw in a bunch of different colors as long as it's in the same color family. I don't care, just put them on there, and they're pretty useful. Believe it or not, these little pots of paint are what I used for this painting, and it still works. You don't really have to, use up like paint from the tube all the time and just throw them out. I think that's really wasteful. So yeah, I think that's all for now. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. And that's it. Bye.